Hey guys, today I'll be talking to you about a real estate application, right? Which is a very interesting software which is basically used for, right, used by real estate people for monitoring their, day to day the rentals and their tenants and contracts and everything, because there are a lot of things which has to be taken care. So today I'll be showing you how this actually software works. So we'll start with user ID and admin access. As soon as you put in user ID and admin access, right, the main screen will open, which is basically called as PromptTech Middle East, right? So there are different things, right? Masters, receipt, tenancy contract, AMC, utility, reports, settings, change password, and sign out, right? Here on the main screen, you will be seeing a colorful outlet where it is daily receipt counts, total receipt counts, available unit place in your building, occupied ones, tenancy expired, AMC expired days. So these are very small, tiny things which are actually very important, which you can actually see in one screen where everything will be clear to you. Right now, we'll start with masters. I'll go with the company. Right, the first thing you have to do is to add the company, your own company details. So here we can add our company details. For example, here I have add my company detail called as PromptTech Middle East Software House, right? We'll add with the phone numbers, we'll add the email ID, yeah, address. We can even choose the logo, right? So you can go and choose the logo as well. So these are the things you can add, right? Next is we'll talk about the customer details. Customer details is, so obviously you'll be having a lot of tenants staying there, so you can actually list down your tenant name, address, contact person, everything can be listed down. So you can keep on creating new tenants, right? So here you can see, you can even search option is also there, so you can search tenants, right? So you can actually go more than, how much, there's no limit for it. You can add at the most lot of people you want, and any particular person if you want, even you can search from the search option. It will be very easy where that will be available for you when you are searching it, right? So it's a very easy software which is actually made for day to day use and all. Right now, next I'll be basically talking to you guys, right, on the customer details part. Right, let's basically go, I'll show you guys how to create. Right now, I'll put every step minutely. So create customer details, so you can write a name, new customer, right? You can put the contact person's name, customer number, you can put customer number 1 2 3, whatever you want to put, right? So you have put that, right? Next is you can even write the contact number of the person. You can put the contact details, address, bank account, because somebody will be transferring you from their bank account, so you can put their bank account details or the check details if the person has given you a check, right? You can even put the check details of a person, right? So I'll just write, slowly fill in the details, right? So I'm just writing the email ID over here, right? I'm just randomly entering the number over here, bank account number, right? So I can even write the IBAN number and everything. These are the details of a particular customers. Even you can put remarks, right? Any comment on that particular person, right? You can even write that as well, and then click on create. You can see that the new customer has been created. If you want to view the entire details, is view from the I option on the right, right? I hope this is clear. If you want to edit the option, you can put on edit. So on the right side, you can see an I option, edit option, and a delete option, right? So if your customer's everything contract is over and he's moved on some other place, you don't want to keep a record of it, you can delete it as well. And then you can create the new people continuously. Now I'll talk about building details. So here you can add your building code, right, the building name, right? So a lot of you would be having similar buildings of same names, right? For example, any building, if I talk about Akanksha, so Akanksha, there will be a lot of Akanshas, Akanksha Villas, Akanksha this and all, right? But randomly you can put code of the same builder, right? So you can directly put codes right over here, and as per your building things, and you can put the landmark, available rooms in that particular building. You can even add that, and you can even add the title of deed, right, which you'll be obviously having a contract for that. So you can just add in the details over there, right, and add, right, So as soon as you get added, these details would be adding. So like this, for this you can actually create different things for your different buildings. So this was one is available, and where you can even download it and save it somewhere else in your folder as well. That is also possible, right? See, you can see the download option. So in future, if you require the delete option, that can be also there. Now this is a similar one where I showed you delete option and everything is there. I'm just showing you the details around, which will be helpful for you. Yeah, these are the details which you can see. Anything you want to add, you can add the map as well, right? Next thing is unit types, right? Unit types is basically, right, where you can actually segregate the places according to the units. For example, I'll talk about a gym. Gym is possible, swimming pool is possible. They all can be considered at different. So here I put on some of the kinds, like showroom is there, school is there, warehouse, villa, shop, flat is there. Here I'll just show you how we can add. So I'm just adding parking area, right? So just parking area, and I've said, if you can see, it is already available over here. This is the way you can actually create unit types, right? Next is the building types. So building types also you can create building type 1, building type 2, building type 3, what kind of a building it is, right? So you can create like that as well. Building type, unit number, you can give a unit number to them, right? And then you can put the status as well, whether that new building, right, and in the new building a particular number, for example 1002 room number, whether it is vacant, occupied, what it is, you can put the details of it and what type of it is, what type of unit it is, a showroom, shop, which I if you know, in the previous thing I had added. So here you can even add the details, which kind of a shop or villa it is. You can add in the details as well here. Hey guys, I already spoke about masters. Now I'll be talking about the receipt menu, right? Here are the receipt numbers and everything which you can create of any person. So if you have received money from a particular customer, you have to give them a receipt, right? So here you can create a receipt, right, over here. So for example, I'm creating, so I will put the number, the voucher date, right, the account number. If he has given by checks, you can put the check number, right? So either the details, amount 50,000 dirhams. So the person has gone for a long term stay and he has given you 50,000 for the entire year, right? Which can also be written, and I'll be giving him the receipt for that. So this cash amount and everything is there. I'll just go down, right? Yeah, you can see he is given an advance. I've written 2021. Right, entire year, right? I'll put the check details and everything. If he's given by cash, you can put the cash. No need to put the check details over here, right? And so I'll just put, for example, 25,000 he has given. Check date also I'll mention over here. These things actually, it is very easy for you to record over here, right? So I'll put the check. So for example, the person has given 3 checks, PDCs, for the entire year, right? Or quarterly PDCs, 4 checks are there. So I can enter all the 4 check details as per their date and the amount number. For example, it is 1 lakh in a year, the rent is, right? You can actually, and the person is giving by 25,000, you can put in the date. Quarterly, if it is, for example, above I had in this slide, I had given 50,000. The person had given, right? So, and he gave me 2 checks. The 50,000 were divided into 2 checks. So the 6 months, I put that as well. And if you see, the details are already added. Like the same way, you can add in these details as well, right? Next is, guys, if we'll create new, right? Tenancy contract details, it is basically. So obviously, if a tenant is staying at your place, we create a tenant contract, right? So here you can put the customer number, which was actually the customer was created before. You can add in his details. The building name is also previously done, so that will also be coming into the scroll down. Unit number also you can write it down because that was also registered before. So this will help you. It will come in directly scroll down menus as well because it was already registered before. And here you can add the contract number, the start date, when does it say the person is going to occupy the flat, for example, from the first, right? So you can write down these details, right? The electricity account number also you can write down for the Deva and all, right? Trade license, tenancy contract. If it's a shop, you can write the trade license number of Emirates ID. If a tenant has been occupied, you can write that, and that can also be created, and that's where the details will come in picture. Next is AMC. So in AMC, I'll talk about the department, right? So in AMC department, what we can do is we can create department names. Now AMC is basically annual maintenance contract, right? Now as a person building, who is person maintaining the builder, there will be a lot of maintenance contract, right? For example, lift maintenance is there, electricity is there, right? Different things, right? Maintaining the park or anything. So I can just write down the details over there, right? What are the details, departments I can be added over there according to my building. Next is the vendor details. I'm adding a vendor, right, who actually, for example, Deva, right? So what is the vendor name? Or lift, for example, I'm talking about the lifts in the flat. Who is my vendor who is taking care of that maintenance of the building? I can add in his details over here in the vendor details. So I'll add the company who is giving the maintenance for my building. I'll add in these details, and the person who actually is in contact I'm with, I can add in his details as well. So I'll just add the details over here of the person, just the name. So I'm just, this is all random names I'm taking. You guys can actually put your as per your building, right? You can put in details. So just keep in record of your vendors, right? So I'll just put the address as well. Yeah, right. The contact person's phone number, right? You can put the vendor's phone number. Here you can put the vendor's phone number as well, right? His email ID, you can even write, note down his tax registration number as well, trade license, and obviously the Emirates ID. So you can keep the record of your vendor, right, who is taking care of your maintenance over here. So I'm just noting down the details over here. Yes, so I have put all the details. I have chosen the file as well, right? And then I finally save. That's it. So guys, next I'll be basically talking about the utilities, right? Let's start with utility category, right? Now utility category is basically the utilities which are actually used on the day-to-day business or day-to-day life, right? For example, mobile bills, electricity bills, water bill, internet bill. These things can be added, right? Now if you add these details, right, you can even create utilities. For example, I'll just create one for you guys, right? Utility category, let me say mobile bill, utility name, Etisalat or DU postpaid I've done, and I've just put the due date. Now for example, my things due date is, for example, on first I have taken the food. Every 14 days is actually the due date of, as per the company. So 15 days is the due date. So I'll take that, right? And I can, after creating, if you see, I can view the bill as well. So here I can actually see what the things I have created over here, right? Now let's talk about utility details, right? After creating, now I'll select the category. So mobile bill, I'll select due postpaid, account name, right? So I'll write the account name, whoever's bill it is. Now for example, it is my personal, right? I'll write my name and the account number where the money has to be put. So every company has a person, customer has their own account number, so we'll put that details also. And this bill actually is every month. So some bills are for quarterly, some bills are yearly bills, some are called as monthly bills. So as per the need you can put, and even you can put the date as well, from which date to which date it is basically valid, and then save it. So as soon as you save it, again you'll create the utility, the details over here. As soon as the utility thing is created, we can go to the utility payment, right? So here you'll see what are the dates pending, because if the due date has gone, it will show pending, right? And if you're paid, it will automatically come, it is paid, right? So here you can search with the bill date as well, or you can even search due to the due date, right? So the month is also given over here, so you can see below, right? So as soon as you click on anything which you want to view, it will give you the details over here, and once the details are there, you can put the bill amount, right, and pay the bill, right? So here different things are given, account name is given, all the things which we added before are mentioned over here. So I'll just put the date, right? I'll put the card number through which I want to do the payment, card, cash or something which the payment has done before. For example, I've done the payment, right? I'll just update over here. So now it shows that it is updated. If you can see number 4, it said it's already paid. So 2 things which are showing it is already paid, and the one it is showing is the dates and the month is mentioned below, right? I can even search according to the months. I can only search according to the bills which are on due date, right? So for example, 1 month I'm taking where it is showing 2 bills are paid and 2 are not paid, right? 2 are pending, right? In the other month it showed that all the bills are pending. So I can see the things like that, right? Next I'll talk about is reports. Reports is basically the receipt reports, guys, right? If some, as I said, we had created before, right? That person actually, the customer had given us the payment for the entire year. So if you want to print a receipt for them, obviously if we have to give the tenant the receipt for the money he has paid. So we can create here. So we can even import it, or we can create it on a PDF format and give it to the person. So I'll just take an example of PDF. You can see here the Excel format is there. So you can directly click on print and the bill print will be printed over there, right? So here if an Excel sheet I have taken, it is shown there. So I can choose the date. Let's start with choosing the date. So I'll take for first. I'll choose the customer also if I want. So I can here choose the customer. I can choose the amount, voucher date. You can even segregate according to the receipt number, customer name and all, right? And then you can actually see the month-wise report. See, I hope it is visible for you guys here. So these things are visible according to that. You can segregate and differentiate. You can even see the cancelled receipt report. Even you can see tenancy expiry report. Let's talk about tenancy expiry report. So this is like, for example, the due date has come. The expiry, the contract has expired. If so, you can actually see here if the building I have selected. Let me select the building. Okay, so now I have selected building, but okay, I think there's some error. Okay, so we'll go with choosing the reports, right? We'll go with tenancy history report. Let's go with tenancy history report. Now if I'm going with tenancy history report, right, it shows me the entire list of actually customers. Like for example, this FA1, that is a flat number, right? So it shows how much date to which date this tenancy is valid, how much the person has paid, how much is the pending. Every area I can take a record of. I can see the record of. I can even see things which are vacant. I can only choose the status. So if I want to see how many vacant places are there, so I directly click on vacant and it will show me almost 25, 26 building in a specific building. It is vacant, and specific building it is available. So these are the reports. Reports are basically for the owners to see how much the total contracts are there, how much are expiring, how much is on due date, how much needs to be renewed. These things can be taken care by these reports, right? So this is again, I'm just showing you the tenancy expiry details. So these guys were staying, but their contract got expired and you need to make a new contract for them, or they wanted to move on, right? That same wise AMC report is also there. So AMC details also comes, right? That annual maintenance contract, how much people were on contract, which building's contract is, when is the contract expiring, right? When do you want to renew it, right? How much electricity, anything pending, right? So here 5,000 for a particular customer, dates, contract number, everything is there. The ongoing report is also visible. So a lot of options for the reports are given. If you guys can see that expired report is also there. So you can even see your expired plumbing, AC maintenance, right? Then you can check date wise details as well. So you can put your check date, for example, from a month to month. What check date is there, any cancelled checks are there, anything is there, you can actually see it. So this is a list of people. I can put the dates over here, right? And the details would be available basically, right? And next is the current tenancy. So people who are actually currently staying over there, so there will be a list of people who are actually occupied your building, their contact number, their contract details, their amount, how much they paid, right, which unit number they are staying, that is also basically available, right? So these details are basically, a lot of reports can be available over here. Then next I'll start with the setting. Setting is basically to assigning roles. So here I'll assign roles and I'll create roles over here. So let me take the role name. So role name is, for example, staff you can create, or you can create a cashier, or you can create an accountant, right? Whoever people who are working in your building, you can actually create their details over here, right? And you can give them privileges as well, right? Now this role name number 1, right, for example, I've created. I can edit it as well if I want to edit, and here see I can tick mark on their name. What are the privileges basically given to a particular person? Now a particular person is can now whoever you give this privilege can only see those reports, right? Anything except these reports are not visible, right? So here you can assign privileges to people over here, right? So I'm just assigning privileges, guys, over here. So for a cashier, I'll just go for an account or contract details or money coming in, coming flow details, I'll show them, right? So whatever people are there, somebody who's handling the entire care of maintenance, so they will take care of the utility details and everything. So that is also there, right? Next is the users. As I said, you can create users who can access this basically software, right? You can create the display name. They can even give them IDs over here. So I'll just take example. So user number 1, user test, and ID number. You can see role number 1, right? So role name 1 I have added over here, but it shows it's already exists. So I'll just change it. So I'm changing it. New user. So I'll just get it into a new user. I've just created, right? So as soon as I create an user, I can give him a password as well, right? So people who is having that user will be having a particular password. He can only log in with his ID and password, and he'll only be able to see things, right, and use things which are actually assigned to him. He won't be able to actually access to other reports or anything which is accessible by an owner, right? So it is the email setting, guys. You can put in an email, host address, right, port number and password. This is a technical thing, right? You can actually put the details, a password, specific email. Now this is basically for any email. If you want to send it across every month to the tenants, or the contract is finishing, you want to send from a particular email, this would be basically useful for you guys, right? So you can even customize the email templates as well, right? So I'll come to it, right? I'll come to it later on. So let's start with the user details and all, right? So here from date 1, whoever is using it, you'll get to know the login date, this is for the owner to know who is logging in into your software, who is logging out, what time he is logging in, log out. That can be done. And as I told you about the email templates, let's go to the email templates, right? So we can create a new template. So I'll just for the email templates name, you can actually I'm just giving an example, but here you can write for example tenants for renewing contract. Such headings can be given, right? Template receipt sent to the customer, right? Even when you're sending a receipt, for example, and money is received from the customer, you want to send the receipt back, right? That can be done from the email. So you can customize it, right? You can even add the subject over here, right? Now add subject field will automatically come once the details of the customer or the tenants are added, right? So here you can write down the details, receipt details. Currently we have only this email template we have actually made for the sending back the receipts and all, but this can be customized basically as per the client's requirement into something called as sending a particular template, right, to a person when his renewing contract is due. You want to send a mail to the tenant that his renew date is basically coming in. You can use this software for that as well, and it can be customized. So I'm just writing the details, and here is the subject. So this is an it would be auto generated. So as soon as you see this receipt details you have put, so you can scroll down the menu, automatically the receipt number comes, and as soon as the receipt number comes, the name associated within this receipt number would be available on the the main subject or the content body, right? So we can add in the mail details and add in the subject field details as well over here. So entire thing would become, so we can customize it for you, right, according to the things you would be wishing to have. You can view the templates as well, you can delete it, edit it, as per, you can actually edit the details of the template as per, if you want to send it to a particular customer, you can edit it as well. And even you can start creating something of your own, but here we have default, we have given. Next is change password, guys, right? Obviously one would be given by us, but as soon as you have it, you can change the new password, right? It's better to keep having new passwords every month. It is better for the safety, right? You can actually assign it to the people of your team as well. Thank you.